Christians were saying why they do not believe and why they left the faith. I want to go over this video and some of the concerns that this young lady mentioned on hers. Let's take a look.
Used as a weapon doesn't mean you shouldn't cook with it.
I would just like to add facts that can be looked up if anybody would like to look it up. Jesus of Lubeck was one of the first slave ships in the 1500s. The Queen Elizabeth I, I believe, gave it to something Hawkins, I forget his first name right now, but she lent this ship to him, leased it to him. Jesus of Lubeck was the first slave ship. In the original alphabet, J did not exist. His original name was Yeshua.
And how does that information impact you in your faith?
For me, growing up in the church, and I'm an ordained minister also, non-denominational. For me, literally, in my mind, it was rewritten to manipulate and control because King James also wrote the book of demonology right before he wrote his version of the Bible. The colonizers came to Africa bringing the Bible to them and basically tricked them into following.
So you said that you were an ordained minister.
All right, so let's break that down for the people in my camp who may have similar questions. So she said that King James wrote the book of demonology just before he wrote his version of the Bible. Facts. He wrote the book of demonology and he did write a version of the Bible, but we have to remember that King James did not write the Holy Bible. He did, however, translate the Bible because the original Bible was written in a Greek and a Hebrew and an Aramaic tongue. It was not written in the English tongue. So King James translated the Bible, but he did not write the Holy Bible. We also have to know that the people who actually walked before Jesus, with Jesus, and right after Jesus is the people who actually wrote what they saw. They wrote real live testimonies, right? Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. King David wrote the book of Psalms and so forth. Saul, who then turned into Paul, wrote most of the New Testament. So we have to remember that the Bible was written by actual people who were in those times. It was just written in a Greek and an Aramaic and a Hebrew tongue, and it was then translated by King James. Now, the book of demonology, I have not read it. I'm not interested in reading it, but I did read a synopsis of it. And what I read was the book talks about spiritual wickedness in high places, something that the Bible also points out as well. Another thing that she mentioned was that the letter J does not exist. Back to the first point, in an Aramaic and a Greek tongue, in a Hebrew tongue, the letter J did not exist. But when we translate it to an English tongue, it does exist, right? The letter U also did not exist in a Hebrew tongue, but we'll trust that an umbrella can give us covering, right? So let's make sure that we're not practicing blasphemous behavior because this letter J didn't exist in an original tongue. It exists now and his name is Jesus, okay?